Hi, Mike. I love your show. Trump's team should sue to get at the ballots, the ones that are only for Joe Biden, to test the oval to see if it was done by pen, marker, or automated printer. I think that's where they're going to find the fraud.
Well, the fight is still intense, and I want to share with you, I always want you to know about reasons not to get so down and so despondent that you think there's no upside at all, or there's no silver lining. That's just not true. That's not true about life. That's not true about anything. Jonah Gottschalk over at the Federalist writes about the 5 reasons Democrats are in trouble with voters until at least 2030. 10 years. Republicans have good reason to be optimistic about the next 10 years. He writes, while the chaotic presidential race has been its own beast, Republicans had what should have been an impossibly good night in November 2020, according to corporate media pollsters. Senate Republicans knocked out a wave of overpaid and overhyped challengers. State legislative chambers and a governorship were taken, and the Democrat House majority was cut to the bone by a wave of red upsets, which incidentally is another reason why a lot of people don't believe the legitimacy of the presidential outcome. There were tons of red upsets. There were tons of Republicans winning that shouldn't have won. He says it's not a fluke. Through poor strategy, radical politics, and an extraordinary amount of hubris, Democrats have set up a series of problems for themselves that will not be resolved by 2022, have the potential to cripple the left-wing enterprise for the next 10 years. He lists the 5. Here are the 5 of the biggest. The Senate isn't getting any better for Democrats. If Democrats can't take the Senate this year, which is again why Georgia is crucial, they aren't going to anytime soon. As the upper chamber is designed to give smaller states a say in governance, until now, both parties have listened to rural interests in their platforms. Today's Democrats, on the other hand, are virtually unprecedented in their failure to appeal to voters in sparsely populated regions. Number 2, the Democrat Party is pulling apart at the seams. The party of unity is anything but, and it's going to hurt Democrats until the issue is resolved. Vitriolic spats have erupted across the Democratic interior as the party's surviving centrist wing and burgeoning socialist one trade barbs and blame over their 2020 failures. Number 3, Republicans have a key advantage in the House for a decade. Democrats took a net loss of state legislative chambers and governors on November 3rd in a year they needed it more than any other. The set of legislators elected this cycle will be in charge of drawing up the districts determining the next 10 years of House races in the majority of states. Once again, Democrats did not perform well enough in most states to land this perk from themselves. Number 4, high voter turnout did not unleash a blue tsunami. Sorry, Americans just don't secretly love the left. He says there's an enduring myth at the heart of the left-wing worldview that their ideas represent the will of the majority. The narrative is visible just about everywhere, from celebrity vote drives to endless media claims of suppression. Well, the 2020 election repudiates this Democrat dream. November 3rd saw the highest voter turnout in American history. As part of this, huge swaths of the country Donald Trump captured have been brought into Republican orbit. Of the 206 counties flipped in 2016, only 19 were won back by Joe Biden in 2020, he says. And finally, number 5, minority voters are increasingly souring on the Democratic Party. Democrats could very well lose their grip on their most consistent voting bloc, just as they lost their hold on the working class vote in 2016. Great article. We're going to post it from the Federalist at MikeOnline.com. You can check that out.